There's 23 million unemployed people in this country. This administration hasn't done enough to cure that.
Clint Eastwood, a true Hollywood icon, is one of the few who have consistently resisted the influence of woke ideology in the film industry. Throughout his career, he has maintained a somewhat uncertain position on political and cultural correctness. A significant moment came during the 1973 Oscars when his actions made headlines, becoming a defining point in his career.
I don't know if I should present this award on behalf of all the cowboys shot in all the John Ford westerns over the years.
On that night, Marlon Brando refused his Oscar for The Godfather. Sachin Littlefeather, a Native American activist, stepped in to speak out against Hollywood's mistreatment of Native Americans. Despite the tense atmosphere, Clint didn't hesitate to voice his thoughts.
They're all concerned with the human dilemma and our confrontation with the fates. Human beings engulfed in a lunatic dictatorship. Men brutalized by their fellow men in a hostile river. Families ripping up their old roots and...
This statement caused a stir back then, but not quite like it does now. Although his joke was met with few laughs in 1973, the story has resurfaced almost 50 years later. It has generated fresh backlash, with social media flooding with outrage, condemning his words as inappropriate and even racist, and calling for his cancellation. Yet, Clint Eastwood is known for not apologizing, and the cancellation attempt quickly lost momentum.
What did you make of what happened tonight?
Well, listen, I think it depends on which side you're on in all of this. Obviously, people are going to try to find negatives if you're on the left.
Clint comes from a time when jokes were simply jokes and not scrutinized for deeper meanings. He has also made it clear that he doesn't take political sides, preferring to stay open to various viewpoints instead of committing to a particular ideology.
What do I care about? It's not the younger generation, it's the older generation now. The younger generation's fine.
However, that single event isn't the only reason Clint continues to be a target of woke culture. For many years, Clint has criticized political correctness, claiming it erodes the authenticity of Hollywood. While others in the industry remain cautious, he steadfastly holds to his views. This seasoned actor and director, now in his later years, has had enough of the political correctness that has come to dominate the profession.
Talk about political correctness in a new Esquire magazine interview. Here's the quotes. Everybody's getting tired of political correctness. Kissing up. That's the kiss-ass generation. I'm sorry I used that word. Generation we're in right now. Everybody's walking on eggshells.
Clint's legendary career, with films like Dirty Harry and Unforgiven, has solidified his tough guy persona. His unshakable outlook has kept him in the spotlight beyond just his on-screen roles. Let's revisit one of his most memorable remarks, which perfectly showcases his no-nonsense attitude.
No, you're gonna look awfully silly with that knife sticking up your ass.
Clint Eastwood's entire career demonstrates this approach. From Unforgiven to $1 Million Baby to American Sniper, he has consistently pushed boundaries with stories that explore the depths of human nature. These are the kinds of films that once defined Hollywood, unfiltered, genuine, and fearless of criticism. However, in today's industry, such storytelling is becoming increasingly rare as the focus shifts to safer plots that avoid causing offense.
Are afraid to admit that they maybe made a mistake, so it's better to be overly defensive and just say, well, I'm voting for him again. I just tried to give people, when I was at the RNC.
He has openly criticized this change in the industry, sharing his dissatisfaction with how directors are now more focused on playing it safe rather than taking risks. Clint argues that movies should reflect real life, even if it's uncomfortable to watch.
I just wanted the real people, the real victims of it all, to get some sort of relief that the truth is put out there.
Clint's 2020 movie, Richard Jewell, once more questioned mainstream narratives, focusing on the story of a man wrongly accused by the media. The film highlighted his dedication to telling significant stories, even when they challenged the prevailing norms of Hollywood.
And then people can gang up against you for no particular reason, or they have just a small amount of information, and they just run off with that.
Clint's defiance of Hollywood's political correctness extends beyond his films. It's a core aspect of his identity. He has earned a reputation for being true to himself, opting to live by his own rules in a world where others are hesitant, concerned about making the wrong statement.
With people in your life, you thought, man, I need to make a film about this.
No, not until I read the whole story, the way he designed it, and the fact that he did kind of a a spiritual take without making it necessarily.
He has no interest in following trends or pandering to the so-called woke crowd. His focus is on telling stories that matter because they are genuine.
It's a cultural thing. It expresses embarrassment or insecurity. It's not that they're laughing at you or anything.
You people are nuts.
A prime example of this is Gran Torino, where Clint plays a war veteran who gradually comes to terms with his immigrant neighbors. The film doesn't shy away from tough issues, making it even more impactful. His character's straightforwardness reflects Clint's own perspective on life. He's not focused on portraying flawless individuals, but rather on capturing the unfiltered reality of human experience.
Well, I liked the character because he's a guy who, I like playing the character because he's a guy who's old school. He's from another generation. He's haunted by some of the things in his past, but he's also he talks to people in a way that people used to talk.
Well, I think you're an overeducated 27-year-old version.
Even before Gran Torino hit theaters, it was likely to be labeled as controversial, but Clint wouldn't have had it any other way. He's never shied away from tackling difficult subjects, regardless of how the so-called woke audience responds.
Okay, you did two things wrong. One is you asked a question, and two is you asked another question. This kind of certainty comes but just once in a lifetime.
Every gun makes its own tune.
An accident is fate. Murder is evil.
Despite his success, Clint has never conformed to Hollywood standards. He refuses to pander to the right people or echo the expected talking points to fit in. His unwillingness to change has only solidified his legendary status in the industry. Even after stepping out of the spotlight, he remains a symbol of defiance. Unfazed by being labeled irrelevant by critics, Clint remains focused on creating films and speaking his truth. At 94, Clint continues to direct films with the same unwavering drive he's had throughout his career. His unique approach has earned admiration from younger actors who value his dedication to telling stories with depth and authenticity.
And he did a beautiful job with it.
He did a fine job. No, I love the guy. No, seriously. Bolt. No. I say that because he's like, it's like, guess what? Mount Rushmore just came down from South Dakota, and you're working for him now.
In a time when many people hesitate to speak their minds, Clint Eastwood stands as a steadfast voice. He refuses to be silenced and continues to challenge Hollywood norms. The industry might try to push him out, but Clint Eastwood isn't going anywhere. What do you think? Is Eastwood a relic of the past, or is he the voice Hollywood needs today? Leave your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories like this.